Today, I'm going to be going over 12 plus tips that will turn you into an elite shooter in NBA 2K24. If you put all the tips together that I'm going to show you in this video, you will never miss again. Now, this video did take a little bit to put together, so if you haven't already, a like and a sub would really help out the channel. But without further ado, let's get straight into the first tip. Now, the first tip that I got for y'all is to stop changing your jump shot so often. A lot of people's first instinct when they can't shoot is just to change their jump shot. But the thing is, if you keep changing your jump shot so often, you aren't going to be able to learn your timing. So I highly recommend keeping your jump shot on for like at least a week, and if you still can't shoot within a week, then I'd recommend changing it. But changing it like within the first day of you using that jump shot, you're never gonna get a chance to learn jump shots if you change them that fast. Now, if y'all do want the best jump shot for every single height, I recommend clicking the top right. But even though that video does give you the best jump shots in the game, I still recommend coming back to this video and watching it all the way through, because the 12 tips that I'm gonna go over are gonna help you greatly. Now, the next tip that we're gonna go over is what shot time and visual cue to use. Now, if you don't know what this is, basically what shot time and visual cue is, you get to pick where you release your jump shot. So for example, if you use the push cue, you want to release the ball whenever your my player is pushing the ball out of his hands. And then for example, if you use the set point cue, you want to release it whenever your my player has the ball at the top of his head. Now, you might be wondering which one of these is the best cue to use. Push is definitely the best one. Push is the smoothest out of the four, and it's also the easiest to time. Now, the next tip that we're going to go over is getting your hot zones. If you don't know what hot zones are, basically what those do is they widen your green window depending on how high you have your hot zone. Now, you can have your hot zones on 4 different things. You can have it on hot, lethal, neutral, or cold. If you have it on cold, your green window is going to be lower. If you have it on neutral, it's just going to be a normal green window. But if you have it on hot or lethal, you're going to have a wide green window, especially lethal. If you have a lethal hot zone, your green window is going to be huge. You might be wondering, how do you get these hot zones upgraded? There are a couple ways you can do this. The number one way to max out your lethal hot zones is going to this place on the map right here, the Art of Shooting Gym. And then once you go in here, you want to go talk to this guy right here, and you're gonna get to pick 2 places where you want to upgrade your hot zone. Now, no matter what, as long as you make your shots, you are gonna upgrade it 1 spot. So for example, if I pick this area right here, it's gonna get upgraded to a lethal, and if I pick this area right here, it's gonna get upgraded to a hot zone. I'm gonna pick these 2 areas right here. I'm gonna get a lethal zone and a hot zone on the wing, and literally all you have to do is just make all your shots. As long as you make all your shots, you will get an upgraded hot zone. I have made all 10 from each spot, and I'm gonna get an upgrade on both of those. I'm gonna get a lethal on the right and a hot zone on the left. And you have to be very careful when you do this, because you can only do this once a week. Now, like I said, there are other places that you can upgrade your hot zones. The second best area to do this is the Sunset Park over here. Now, you want to play the guy named Disco at Sunset Park, and all you want to do is just shoot over him every play. You want to keep playing him over and over, and your hot zones are gonna go up like crazy. And then of course, you can also just get your hot zones up by either playing My Career or Park or Rec, really any other mode. But make sure you focus on these 2 right here if you want to get your hot zones upgraded. Next thing we're going to talk about is Jumpshot Boosts. Now, if you don't already know, Jumpshot Boosts, they cost VC, but what they do is they boost your green window. If you aren't playing with Jumpshot Boosts, no reason you're missing. You need to buy Jumpshot Boosts. Tip number 5 is to turn your jump shot meter off. If you have your jump shot meter off, not only does it give you a boost in your green window, but it also actually helps you learn your jump shot for its cue rather than learning it for the meter timing. For tip number 6, I'm going to go ahead and give y'all some tips to get rid of delay. I know a lot of y'all watching this video probably know that the delay in NBA 2K24 is really bad. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and give y'all some tips to get rid of this delay. Now, keep in mind, you're never really going to fully eliminate delay, as the 2K servers are just bad in general, and they're always going to be a little bit delayed. Now, tip number 1 is to buy a LAN cable. LAN cables are only like $7, and I'm telling you, once you buy a LAN cable, you are going to be so much less delayed. Method number 2 is, if you're playing on a TV, make the switch to a monitor. Now, if you don't already know, TVs are way more delayed than monitors. Monitors have a built-in feature to minimize delay. I recommend getting a monitor with a low MS response time, as those are the ones with the least delay. Tip 3, now I know it sounds like a lie, but it's to plug in your controller. If you don't already know, plugging in your controller can actually get rid of a good amount of delay, as you are playing wired rather than playing wireless. Now, those 3 tips right there are the main tips to get rid of delay. If you want some bonus tips, I recommend watching the video in the top right. So if you're still delayed, I highly recommend watching that video and coming back to this one. Number 7 is to stop over dribbling, because it actually lowers your green window. If you don't know what I mean by over dribbling, basically if you dribble the entire shot clock and you waste all your stamina, your green window is going to be lower. Now, of course, if you're playing like a bum or something like that, you're going to be able to over dribble, because they're not really going to know how to guard it. But if you play a good player, they're going to know how to box that, and they're going to know whenever you're too tired to shoot it. So what I recommend doing is just doing simple things to score. Like, basically what I'm trying to say, you want to dribble to score, you don't want to dribble to dribble, if that makes sense. Number 8 is to make a build with the high mid-range mid-range because it actually gives you better shooting badges. For example, I'm going to go ahead and show you this build right here. As you can see, it has a 77.3 and an 88 mid-range. Look at the badges I'm getting. I'm getting gold catch and shoot, gold green machine, gold space creator, all these badges, like really good badges. But if instead I wanted to go ahead and go with a 77.3, look how much worse my badges get. Obviously with an 88 mid-range, I mean, my badges go up like crazy. And I know some of y'all are probably worried about the 3-point rating, but let me tell you, if you have good badges like this, it really doesn't matter what your 3-point rating is. 77 is more than enough to shoot even without the mid-range, and along with these badges, you're really never gonna miss. Same thing with spot up builds. If you want to make a spot up build with the high mid-range, it's actually really smart to do that because not only can you go into the midi fade from the corner, you also get some really good shooting badges like gold catch and shoot, for example. For tip number 9, we're gonna go over the best shooting badges in the game. Now, these shooting badges, you want to make sure that they are maxed on the highest level. The first one you want to make sure that you have max is green machine. Green machine, in my opinion, is the best badge in the game because after you have consecutive greens, you get a huge boost in your green window. Open looks is also a really good badge to have on as high as you can get it, as you get a boost in your green window on wide open shots. Also want to make sure that you have Deadeye and Agent 3 on as high as you can get them. Deadeye is going to help you make contested shots, and what Agent 3 does is it gives you a boost in your green window whenever you're fading behind the 3-point line. Now for spot ups, you want to make sure that you have catch and shoot and corner specialist on as high as you can get them as well. Claymore is also a really good badge to have for spot ups as well. Now, tip number 10 is an error I see a lot of spot ups make, and it is actually timing the shot before you get the ball. And you might not actually realize that you're doing it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and paint a picture for you. Say your teammate is passing you the ball in the corner. What a lot of people tend to do is they start holding square before the ball is even in their hands. So instead, what you want to do is wait until your my player sets his feet with the ball in his hands, then time the shot. And I promise you, you will immediately see you start shooting better after you break this habit. Tip number 11 is that there are different timings in every single mode. So for example, if you go to the theater, it's a different timing. If you go to the park, it's a different timing. So basically what I'm trying to say, you got to learn the timing for each of these modes. And the final tip that I got for y'all is to consistently refresh your frames throughout the game. Let's say you're in a theater 1v1 game and you just out of nowhere start missing your shots. Reason for that might be because you haven't refreshed your frames in a long time. Now, the way that you refresh your frames is so simple. What you want to do on PlayStation, all you want to do, hold the middle PlayStation button, go to the home screen, wait like 1-2 seconds, go back into the game. That's how you refresh your frames. It's literally that simple. Now, I'm not 100% sure how you do it on Xbox, but I'm pretty sure it's the same way. You just want to go to the home screen and go back after waiting a couple of seconds. But I'm telling you, do that throughout the game so that you don't get random spikes, random delay out of nowhere. That's pretty much it for the video. If y'all haven't already, I would really appreciate it if y'all could like and sub to the channel. If y'all have any questions, make sure to let me know down below in the comments. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video.